Alright guys, in this tutorial I will show you how you can manually install WordPress, and I will do this because not all hosting providers have the automatic tool, or it's not always that easy to do it. Sometimes you may have some problems with the automatic tools, so I will show you how you can do it manually if you have no other option. The first thing that you have to do is go on Google and search for download WordPress. The first result that you will get is of course the official WordPress page. So you simply have to select the first result. After the page loads, you have to click on download WordPress 4.4.2 or whatever is the latest version. This is the current latest version at the time of recording this video. I have already downloaded it. So here is my downloaded zip file. After you're done with the downloading, you should go to your control panel where your hosting is. And for example, with the GoDaddy hosting here, I have to click on Manage to open the control panel. And after a few seconds of loading, there it is. So the easiest way to do this is first you have to go to your file manager, open your web root, wait a few seconds, and you have to go to the folder public HTML right here. And here you have to create a folder where you're going to install your WordPress website. There is one thing that I want to point out here. So if you're going to have only one website on this web hosting, you don't have to create a new folder. If you want to have multiple websites on this hosting, you have to create a separate folder for each of these websites. So in my case, I have several different websites on this same hosting. That's why I have a different folder for each of them. So I'm going to open the folder that I'm going to use for this example. And after you open the folder, you have to upload the zip file. So you simply click on upload. Then you choose file. You navigate to the zip file and you open it. So you have a progress bar here that already said that my upload is completed. So I have to go back by clicking on this button here, and here is my uploaded WordPress zip file. Now you have to extract it by clicking this button here. You may have a different interface. So if you can't find any button that allows you to extract your zip file, or when you right click you don't have that option, I will show you a bit later in this video how you can extract it locally on your computer and then upload the extracted contents. So let's extract it. Extract files, and it's ready. Now we have everything moved inside a different folder within our folder. It's not what we really want, so let's fix this. First, refresh your page, your file manager. Now we will work a bit with this tree here. So here inside the passive income site folder, we can see the other folder. So let's open it and let's select everything that's within it. I did this by pressing on the first file, then holding Shift on my keyboard and the last file. So let's select move. And here you have to delete the folder that they are currently in. So you want to have only the path to the folder where you want your files to be. We don't want them to be inside this WordPress folder. We want them to be inside the passive income site folder. That's why I deleted the WordPress folder from here. Let's select move files. And it's ready. Alright, let's open our passive income folder, and you can see that we have all of our folders right here, and our WordPress folder is now empty. So let's delete it because we no longer need it. Delete the folder. Let's also delete the zip file as we no longer need it. Before we start with the main installation of the WordPress, first we have to create a database for it and a database user. In order to do this, go back to your control panel and look for MySQL databases. You should have something similar like this. The control panels are pretty much the same everywhere, they just have a little bit different interface, but the applications within them are pretty much the same. So go inside the MySQL databases, and here we have to create our new database. Now it's accepted that the WordPress databases start with WP. This is if you have many databases, it's easier for you to distinguish which one of them is for WordPress and which one is for what. But don't use just WP. Include some other suffix because it will improve the security of your website. So let's say WP 716, for example, passive income 9, for example. And let's create our database. A few seconds, and the database was created. Go back. Alright, and now we can find our database somewhere here. There it is. There is our database. Now we have to create a MySQL user for this database, the user that's going to be used to access the database, modify it, work with it, and so on. This is the user that WordPress will use. So let's go ahead here and let's give it a username. So let's call it pass inc, I don't know, 856, for example, and let's just pick some password. I will use the password generator because it generates really good passwords, but it's really hard to remember these passwords, so make sure to copy the password somewhere where you can always have access to it. So the best way is to simply write it on a piece of paper. So I will copy this password and confirm that you know the password. Use the password. Alright, and click on create user. Perfect, our user is ready. The last thing that you have to do is that you have to add the user to the database itself so that this user can have some access to the database. So you go ahead and find your user from the drop down menu here, find the database as well, and click on add. So you have to give all privileges to this user, make changes, and that is ready. So now that we have set up everything from the databases, we can go and open a new tab. So for me, it's the main domain for my hosting account, then passive income site, and you must use uppercase if that's what you used in naming your folder, /wp-admin/install.php. Now, I'm using the main domain for my web hosting because I haven't pointed it as the folder of this website yet. It's very easy to do it. I will show you a bit later. So click enter, and from here you just follow the steps and install WordPress. So let's do this. Select your language, click continue. So here it tells you that you need a database name, password, host, table prefix, and so on. We have all that, so let's go. So the database name, let's see what was our database name. Let's go back here at the MySQL databases and let's find our database. So it's right here, database name. So this is our database name. Here we are going to use the same prefix as our database name, 716. For username, let's see what was our username. It's passing 856. Copy the password that you have saved on your paper or wherever you have saved it. And for database host, leave it like this. It's on the local host. It's on the host itself where your website will be installed. So everything is at the same place. That's why it's called localhost. If your database was somewhere else, you should have used the IP for the other place, but you don't have to do it here. So click submit and everything should be fine. Let's see. Perfect. Now there are a few other things that you should set up for your website here. So this is the site title. Let's call it for now my first website. I will show you how you can later change this. For username, write some username that you're going to use in the future to log into your WordPress website and edit it. So my test user. And for passwords, 13524 exclamation mark 2. I don't know, something like this. Confirm the use of a weak password. As you can see, it says here that the password is very weak. So this is simply an example. We don't need a strong password for this particular example, but I really advise you to use a better password than this, simply to secure your website better. Alright, so here you should supply your email address. So I will supply my email address and click on install WordPress. Success! The WordPress was installed easily, so we didn't have any problems. Our installation was successful. Let's log in. My test user. And we're in. There it is, our first website. So in the next videos I will show you exactly how to modify this website so that it suits our needs. Before that, as I promised, I will show you what you can do if you can't extract your WordPress files on the hosting itself. The first thing you have to do is you have to find a tool called FileZilla. So there it is here. You have to download the FileZilla client from here. And after you download it, you have to go back to your control panel. Let's go to my control panel. Alright, and when you go to your control panel, you have to click on FTP accounts. And when you go there, you have to create a new FTP account for your website. So simply select some username. So let's my FTP test account with the password my test account. And here you have to select the directory for which this account will have access to. If you leave it like this, only to public HTML, this account will have access to everything inside the public HTML folder. But if you simply need it only for the specific website that we are currently working on, you have to supply the path to this folder like this. And then you say create FTP account. Perfect. Now, after this account was created, open FileZilla and find your account down here and click on configure FTP client. So here you have FTP configuration file for FileZilla. That is one option. And in order to import this file, you have to go here to File, Import, and from here you simply have to navigate to the folder where you downloaded this file, select it, and it will automatically put the settings for you in FileZilla. But now I will show you how you can manually set up this. So first you have to click on this icon right here, open the site manager. Then you click on new site, and let's call it my first test site. Then you have to supply the host name. You get the host name from here, FTP server. This is your host name. So FTP. Alright, then you supply the port, which is 21. You change the logon type to normal. And here you write your username. I will just copy it from here. And then you write your password. And you click on OK. Then when you click on this little arrow here, you can see your connection that you just created. Simply click on it. Select Always Trust Certificate in Future Sessions. click OK, wait a few seconds, and there it is. So we now already have everything uploaded, everything is here, but if you don't, you simply extract your WordPress archive here, extract, wait until the extraction is done, and then you simply go inside its folder, select all the files that you have here, and simply drag and drop them into the remote folder on your web hosting, and from there everything is the same.